All right, class, let us conclude our discussion of Confucianism by just saying a few words about Confucian good government. So in our previous lectures, we learned that Confucius was concerned with the problem of how to end the Chinese Civil War during the Warring States period. And for Confucius and his students, ending this brutal conflict would require social and political reforms. And ultimately for Confucius, this meant returning China to the values of the early Zhou Dynasty, the golden age of Chinese civilization. And Confucius believed that this period of time was the golden age because the rulers of the early Zhou Dynasty ruled Chinese society according to what is called the will of heaven. That is, the early Zhou rulers participated in religious rites so that the gods, as well as deceased ancestors, could bring Li or orderliness to earth. And for Confucius, the job of the junzi, who we learned about earlier, is to be like the early Zhou rulers. Their job is to bring the principle of Li from heaven to earth. And by taking part in a rigorous training, the junzi internalizes this heavenly principle of Li while ordering his thoughts, his feelings, and his body. And like the early Zhou rulers, for Confucius, the junzi has the duty to participate in religious rites. So with this in mind, Confucians argue that to bring peace and harmony to society, the ideal political system that should be pursued is a feudal society, where each province is governed by the junzi. Put simply, Confucians do not believe in a democracy, in a democratic system of government. They believe in the adoption of a feudal society where there is a clear hierarchy, where the junzi is to be in the ultimate authority role. And the junzi, by putting the needs of his citizens ahead of his own, and by governing according to the will of heaven, is able to not only rule effectively, but is also able to serve as a model of imitation for his people. So sometimes I refer to Confucian good government as like a trickle-down system, right, where the virtues of the junzi trickle down to the people, which results in a well-ordered, kind of virtuous society as a whole.